clear one, right?
Yeah, clear.
Yeah, let me go. Let me get this head out.
Okay.
The garland, and then I'll get you this one.
Okay. Mire, con la que No, I'm good.
Let's go. She got the MVP.
No, just sign it. Just sign it.
I saw you sign the picture. I was like,
Just sign it, Chris. We're getting a plaque.
Points right to this one.
Peter needs getting a great dog.
Right
That's
answer,
South
you gotta
Canada.
make a move.
We're gonna put like a little statue.
Yeah.
go in, you're done. I was like, this is
I was so brutally honest.
I'm really sorry, though.
Oh, really?
I don't have all that.
Are you almost finishing it?
I just take my energy out. I do, but sometimes. Yeah,
No, we have three, so close enough. I didn't hang all the way through. Yeah. We have three, so we. checking here. No, it's supposed to go this way. So we've got to. It's supposed to go this way. Yeah, I need one more piece to just test it. Yeah.
Sure, sure. Several times. Several times I saw him practicing all the time. This was when I was in grad school. So many times. What's on? Okay. Because they have the video of him and his family. So, I'm sorry, I'm Yasser. Yasser Sam, it's nice to meet you. You're also from Nigeria too? Or? We've had the same for years. Oh, okay. Yes, it's please, by all means. Do you know the American?
No, so I don't even know. I showed him only through Dr. Silla, because I never had him for a teacher. So I had Dr. Silla, I did some research with Dr. Silla years and years ago. Like, yeah, I was in the graduate program at NJT. Bill Ward was the tenure. Sweet guy. He was. He was in there at NJT. Hindi. All I see was him and Shanti. Shanti's still there. Krishni. She joined around you, didn't you? It's the same time you did, around here. Oh, that's when you left. Oh, okay. Mark Summers is still there. I had him for undergrad. Management 390. It was like a requirement for all undergraduates. Did you? I was thinking you had reading. Oh, that's okay. I had Mark, so he was a bad. I had him for a graduate course as well. But yeah, so are you still
Just turning it off. I didn't realize it was on still.
My colleague is there. She didn't say this, but I kind of recommended her. Angela Gardner. She's starting up the master's in it's HR analytics, something like that. So where are you from? Oh, just how she would be. So she's in HR. I don't think so. Is it? I don't know.
We made a co-editor of Emerald Volume every year. Then I went off that and something different.
Yeah, I don't know. He was the first professor I had for an online course, and that was back before the videos and everything like that. So just email me all the things that you had, and I can't all 5 of your assignments in half a day. He used to just spend that Thursday or Friday cranking out those assignments.
You can.
Yeah. I told him, I said, is it okay? He said, you have to put it on a certain platform. He's like, yeah, just email it to me. Mark Williams list. Okay. Well, I had to take bridge courses because I did engineering for my undergrad, so to do the masters. They didn't have any every day back then. Yeah, so I just did that. Went on and just got a PhD in soccer. That's all I did. I had it all. At least you're in the States, being in grad school is totally different. It is. Constantly catering to customers as opposed to, I don't even know how to say it. It's almost like you almost have to dumb down your curriculum so you can pass all the students. Because it's my son goes to Rutgers. I told my son, kid, they don't give a rat's ass about you. They will feel you. Yeah, but I told him, I said, state employees aren't going to care. I said, I did engineering for a living. They care because engineers. My GPA was 2.7. For a junior class of 60. That's a lot. That was when we just got 1,000 engineers. But my GPA is 2.7. Average for 60 is 2.4. So, like, okay, I did all right. But yeah, so I had, after doing engineering for undergrad, it was a better switch for me to move into business, into management. I really enjoyed it.
Why do you want to work in that?
I worked for them. I worked for them. I just didn't find it because everybody asked for 320. I'm like, I can't go 320. There's no way. So of those 60 people, 10 of us found work as chemical engineers. The rest of us applied to figure something else out.
Problem is they need you more than managing people.
But it was a smooth transition. So yeah, I did all right. But we had this real world. So I said, what's your GPA? I said, it's like 2.6 at the time. He goes, oh, yeah, minimum of 2.8. 600 that school. I said, I said, you can travel all 600. He's like, no, 550. very blessed. Dr. Sri Lanka, I really would tell you, because he always would tell me that he would come down and we went to Markham, and I live in Oldbridge. I don't know where you guys live.
I live in Greenbrook, 15 miles north.
Okay, so it's like 2 months. It's all clear, right?
So far, I only bought the condo that you know, and so far I've been all alone. This fall I have to go back physically to campus.
Think about it this way, you're gonna drive to yeah, it's adjacent to this town. Yep. So it's about 50 miles each way. I have to take the George Washington. Then
And you cross Bronx and
I'll take Cross Bronx to the DEA.
Gary Cranbury. In 30 years.
So what they did was, this was his favorite blazer, and they put some white gloves on, and his watch, and his cufflinks. Okay.
Yeah.
Put a little bit of makeup on.
Asokan, it's fortunate that this is a situation we met. I have not seen you for quite a while since you stopped coming to school. But I think the relationship between us, and we'll never forget that you've been a very good friend and a trusted friend. And I will always remember you. Remind me of who you are, a peaceful person. Now that you're going, we will keep your memory alive and knowing the kind of person you are. Thank you, Asokan, for being a friend. Thank you. It was nice knowing you. And it's a safe journey where you're going. I'll be with you.
I'm flying to go for it. Shall we sit? Thank you so much. Matt?
Oh, beautiful.
You were in which course? What the options course? Futures course? Oh, international.
Can you just help me with the tape? There it is.
Need more? More?
We miss him. He was a central
I was actually explaining, so this is his favorite favorite tie, favorite watch, favorite cufflinks. So this is likely his favorite outfit. Yeah, so it's very nice that they were able to do that. So, yeah. How are you? Good. Thank you. It's been a while. Thank you. Happy Mother's Day, by the way. Long
They
time no
said
see.
within the next 10-15 minutes they will be getting ready to start saying their speeches. So I'm just gonna get this out.
This was Appa's favorite blazer, his favorite tie, favorite watch, favorite cufflink. So it's likely his favorite outfit. So it's nice that they were able to do that.
So wait. This week you can say. This week they know. Just started.
Happy Mother's Day.
Okay, how are you? So the link is
Yes, actually, right?
Last time when I came and stayed there with Pawar, because I talked to him and all that.
This is his favorite jacket, favorite tie, favorite gloves, favorite everything. So where's he from? I thought he's with us. Don't worry. He's with us. Trust me, I'll make the same jokes he used to make. It's not gone anymore.
You know, different friend. Mr. Ivan. This is Mr. Sar.
We hung out in Jamesburg that one time, yes. cufflinks, favorite watch. So this was likely his favorite film. Yeah, so it's very nice that they got to do everything like this. It looks good. They did the makeup quite well. But yeah, whatever you guys want to say, please just let me know. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for being here today to mourn, to remember, and to celebrate the life of someone truly extraordinary. Professor Asokan Anandarajan was many things: a devoted husband, a loving father, a cherished brother, a brilliant scholar, a mentor, and a dear friend. But to all of us, he was something more than any one role could define. He was a light, a calm, steady, wise, and loving presence who enriched our life simply by being himself. My name is Rajkrishna. I am Asokan's brother-in-law, and as someone who was blessed to have known the warmth behind the intellect, the quiet laughter behind the seriousness, and the immeasurable kindness that guided everything he did. Asokan had a rare and beautiful gift. He could walk through this world with both humility and greatness. His mind was sharp, his standards high, but his heart, that was where his true brilliance lay. Whether in a lecture hall or at the dinner table, he made you feel seen, heard, and valued. His love for his family was deep and unwavering. To his students, his colleagues, and his field was inspiring. But it was the way he made us feel grounded, understood, uplifted, that we will carry with us forever. Today, we honor his memory through the voices of those who loved him, respected him, and were touched by his life. We begin with a tribute from someone who worked closely with Asokan and witnessed his excellence in the world of academia. Please join me in welcoming Professor Pius Egbalu, the Distinguished Professor of Operations and Management and former Dean of Martin Tuchman School of Management at NJIT.
Friends and colleagues, I describe you all as friends because if you're a friend to Asokan, you surely have to be a friend to me. Asokan is somebody I care for very much, and I love very much to chat with him. He was not just a colleague, he was a next door neighbor in the offices. So Asokan and I spent a lot of time chatting once in a while, talking about the issues of life. We have come here to celebrate Asokan's life. Some of us know him as friend, some of us know him as colleagues, some of you know him as father, some know him as brother, some know him as a neighbor, and the list goes on. Asokan, in his quiet life, he lives a very simple, quiet, honorable life. It's somebody that I wish we all could emulate and follow his ways. Asokan loves peace. Peace to just the statement that to the extent that it depends on you, be at peace with everyone else. So is Asokan. Asokan is a non-confrontational person. He will give of himself, of his right, to make you feel good, to make you feel inclusive, included in the ceremonies, whatever it is. Asokan was not just a quiet person, a nice person, not just a peace-loving person, but he's also a very kind person. Every one of us who knows Asokan knows that he's a very kind person. Asokan would go to the extent of inviting the whole faculty, all of us, for a dinner, even when he feel that the burden is too much on him. And he did it not only just once, he will do it over and over. Asokan loves people. So whether you know him as a brother, know him as a colleague, know him as a friend, please remember Asokan by emulating some of his ways. Most importantly is his desire for a peaceful world, a world where people get along, a world where there's no boundaries between people. That is who Asokan is for me. And I hope we honor him by celebrating that and emulating his ways one way or the other. Asokan loves his students. He will give his life for his students. And one of the things he missed so much when he was unable to come to school was ability to come and teach. Asokan was so desirable of teaching, that he, even when he was sick, he made every effort to be there. So Asokan for me is a hard-working person, he's a kind person, knowledgeable person, an intellectual, somebody who does everything to make people feel inclusive. So be kind, be nice. The best way to honor Asokan is not by crying, which many of us have cried enough, but by honoring him with his behavior, and that is love one another, as Asokan would like to see you do that. Here with my wife with me. I brought my wife because one of our colleagues, Dr. Shekna Sila, who is a very close friend of Asokan, a close friend to the extent that I describe them as best of brothers, wrote something that he wants us to read on his behalf because he's not here, able to make it here. He's in a foreign country right now. And so he sent me this note to read, and I asked my wife to come forward and help me read it. So listen to what Professor Shekna Sila says about Asokan and his influence on the university campus. Asokan is a man of influence. He has influenced a lot of students in his career. He has taught a lot of students. He has graduated a lot of students. He has written a lot of papers. Those papers will outlive him. Those people are there talking for him and speaking for him. The world is benefiting from the work he has done, and so it shall be forever and ever until this world is no more. Those papers and those things will continue speaking for him. And hear what another colleague has to say about him, and thank you so much for listening. Carol.
Okay, my name is Caroline Ebelu. I'm Pius's wife. I'm reading here the voice of Professor Shekna Sila. I was deeply saddened to hear of the passing of my dear friend and wonderful man, Asokan. Having known and worked closely with him for more than 30 years, Asokan was more than a colleague and even more than a friend to me. Asokan and I became brothers many years ago and shared the lives of our families. Asokan was very kind, gentle, caring, willing, thoughtful, wise, and super intelligent. I mean, really, really smart. He was a man who traveled his own path, but was always ready to share his time and knowledge. He always helped those he met along the way. He was someone I looked up to and called on often for his insights and wisdom, which made me a better person for just knowing him. Asokan served as our senior professor of accounting. He led many faculty search committees and brought new faculty into the Martin Tuchman School of Management, and also served for a time as the school's representative on the Institute P&T Committee, where he was a soft-spoken and emphatic champion of faculty across the university. He will be missed by the thousands of students whom he mentored and educated throughout his long and highly successful career at NJIT. Ashokan had the heart of an angel. He was always eager to give, to come to the help of others. He was tireless and enthusiastic when it came to assisting and mentoring young faculty members, especially many new faculty members he helped hire to teach accounting. Ashokan was a great scholar, having published more than 100 academic journal papers and several books in accounting. He was a great teacher, having been nominated and winning many teaching excellence awards and reaching the highest state of NJIT's Master Teachers class. Judging by the number of students who were constantly visiting his office and greeting him on campus, he was adored by them. Ashokan will be remembered for being always there, working to make a difference. And for more than 30 years, Ashokan served the university in many capacities, better than most people I know. During his lengthy career, he served in countless faculty committees, including Faculty Senate, University Promotion and Tenure, NJIT Master Teachers, just to name a few. Indeed, he served NJIT with passion and an abundant amount of energy. While there is certainly a deep feeling of loss, according to Dr. Silla, I chose to smile and remember all of the great moments and tremendous contributions Ashokan made as an internationally recognized leader and researcher in the fields of accounting and finance. I am truly honored to have been a small part of Ashokan's life story. To Raj and Krishna, Ashokan was a very quiet and competent individual. He was a great intellect, tireless professor, always volunteering to help, always generous with his colleagues and students, always eager to support those not so fortunate. He was an extraordinary person. I already miss him very much. So please, accept my sincere condolence and deepest sorrow. May Ashokan rest in peace. And thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Egbalu and Mrs. Egbalu, and thank you, Professor Chetna, for that powerful tribute and for shedding light on the legacy of Asokan, what he leaves in the world of education and leadership. Now I would like to call upon Professor Hassan Iftikhar to say a few words. Professor Hassan Iftikhar is a very old friend of Asokan. They have taught together and they have been really close friends for a very long time.
Good evening, everyone. I think what Janan, the Dean, and Chekna mentioned, I echo very much the same. It is my distinct privilege and honor to be friend. that what I would think about Asokan the most, I would think that he made many, many, many individuals a better person, and he's being his friend, being with him, I feel I have become a little bit better person, knowing how kind he is, how caring he was, how genuine he was, and it was incredibly those who have been together. He was extremely curious about academic research. He worked with everyone he could. I think I saw somewhere today, Gary is here. Gary Kleinman is one of the, probably the most, he worked the most with Asokan over the last 30 years. Joseph Wen, you name it. And every time there was a hiring process, he wants to hire the best possible person, help that particular person. He was so kind, sometimes people misunderstood his kindness. And I think he was a well brought up kid. I had the privilege to know his family a little bit. I remember when his father was here, his mother was sick. I remember how the hospital bills and everything else, they have taken care of it with so much honesty, so much kindness. I think he has a wonderful wife. I know Krishni from the very start of he joining us. And he was so happy when Raj came. And I get to know a little bit about, Jana and you and the family. And I would say that in my life, I'm also an academic. I'm also just like him, but I would say that I have been a fortunate person to be his colleague, very fortunate to be his friend, very fortunate to be part of his life. And I would always, until I am away from out of this world, I would remember to Asokan to take his manners, his kindness, and his goodness that I can learn from him. Goodbye, my dear friend. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Iftika, for your beautiful, kind words. Next, we will hear one of Asokan's favorite poems, lovingly read by his niece, Natalie.
Before I read the poem, I'm going to tell a little story that I didn't tell Auntie Krishni I was going to do, but I'm going to do it. It's so nice to hear what everyone has said about Anna professionally, but I knew him personally. And you'll hear from his brother and sister soon. And you'll realize he grew up in a family with big personalities, very big personalities. And he was the quiet, calm one, and I remember the first time I came to both of your apartments in London. I was 3, and I was in the kitchen, and my father, I think, was away, and you were both standing there, and I spilled milk all over the floor. And as a 3-year-old would do, and I did, I just burst into tears. This was the worst thing that could have ever happened, and I just met you, and I just was so upset. And I remember looking at you, Auntie Krishni, and then I remember looking at Anna, and you were both so calm. And I just remember looking at his eyes being so calm and loving, and that's how I'll always remember him. And this poem, which I'm so happy to read, I know it was Anna's favorite. My mom said it was her father's favorite as well, but it just describes him so well and how he lived life. So, to laugh often and much, to win the respect of intelligent people and the affection of children, to earn the appreciation of honest critics and endure the betrayal of false friends, to appreciate the beauty, to find the best in others, to leave the world a bit better, whether by a healthy child, a garden patch, or his beautiful forest, or a redeemed social condition, to know even one life has breathed easier because you have lived. This is to have succeeded.
Thank you, Natalie, for that moving and graceful reading. We now turn to Asokan's brother and sister, his first companions in life, and those who shared his beginnings, his laughter, and his dreams. They will now share their personal memories and reflections.
Okay, this is harder than I thought it was going to be. Not just because I'm going to talk about my beloved older brother, but because I have to follow my oldest daughter. So you've all heard so much. I think you heard the personal side from Natalie, his favorite poem, heard about what an intellect and brilliant person he was. But I'm going to talk to you today about my big brother and me. I was the only girl, two brothers on either side. And my role in life was to be the annoying little sister to him and the annoying big sister to him. So this story starts in London. We grew up in England, and Anna was 7 when, and so for those of you who don't know, Anna is older brother in Tamil. So Anna was 7 when Thambi, which is little brother, was born. And I remember in England, he had some really close friends who lived just down the street. There was Tony, there was Neil, who was really cute, and I thought he was really great. And then there was this boy whose name I can't remember, because I used to call him Billy Bunter, and Anna used to keep correcting me. That's not nice, Molly. Okay, Billy Bunter. And none of my friends lived nearby. And so they would play cricket in our little garden in the back. And as annoying as I was, because you reflect back, right now that we're supposedly adults, he always let me play cricket with them. And then when Thambi came along, chubby little 3-year-old who could barely hold the bat, he always let us play. And all the mischief that I ever got up to, he just took me along with him. But I remember when I was probably 6, Anna was so responsible that we were allowed to ride our bikes. So if you remember, I was 6, he was 8. My mother let us ride our bikes to the busy streets from Colindale to Hendon, and he used to take me for my piano lessons. And I just remember those days not realizing at how young he was to be as responsible as he was allowed to be. Until, of course, Anna was brilliant, so 11 plus exams, he got into grammar school, and his brilliant friends, Neil and Tony, they went along. And so now I had a little brother. And I just assumed my mother would say, well, your brother used to walk you to school. You can walk your little brother to school. But no, that didn't happen. She was like, no, I don't think you're responsible enough. It was one thing when Anna did it. It's quite another thing. No, so I'm going to walk you to school. So time went on. In all seriousness, I am a super competitive person, and this is going to shock you, not for any other reason, but because of my brother. He taught me how to play chess, and he knew the moment, and the reason he taught me was he had no one else to play chess with when we went back to Sri Lanka. So he taught me, and he full well knew that it would drive me absolutely crazy if I couldn't beat him, and I could never beat him. But I upped my game because of that. Do you remember the evenings in Colombo when we lived in this house, and I still can't remember, there were these rickety steps, and he would take us to the top of those steps, and the last time I was there, I actually walked by that house that we lived in at the time, and I'm surprised that the stairs didn't collapse and we fell down, but he created general knowledge quizzes. And so we would sit there in the evenings, and in Sri Lanka, for those of you who know, like at 6 o'clock it gets dark, but we would sit there and he would quiz us. And so at the beginning, he had the same questions for both of us. And I was like, oh, I'm winning, I'm beating my brother who's 4 years younger than me. So after a couple of weeks of that, we show up one day, general knowledge quiz, and Anna's like the quiz master, and he starts asking questions, and I'm answering. He's like, no, those are not for you. Those are for him. Because that way, I have harder questions for you. I'm like, man, this is not fair. So I think I am the person I am. We had such a joyous childhood, most of which I did spend annoying him. But he always looked at me with these kind, patient eyes that said, do your worst. You know, I'm still there for you. I'm just going to switch gears a little bit because I didn't prepare anything. I'm just talking about stories that went through my mind the early morning that Krishni called and told me the news. So Anna at school, when my daughter said he lived in a house with big personalities, most of those big personalities, I mean, my father was brilliant, my mother was quiet. I did a lot of talking about all my achievements, most of which really never happened, but anything that happened, I would come home and announce everything to the world. And so I think I was about 15, and it's that time when in Sri Lanka, it's a very small community, so you meet, like, you know, there's like cross-school, and we go to all girls' schools and all boys' schools, so there are cross-schools competition. So one day I was in school, and one of the senior girls came up to me and said, "Are you Asokan Anandarajan's sister?" And I was like, yeah, like, who are you? She's 2.5 years older than me. She goes, "Oh, you know, I'm part of the debating team at Holy Family." And no, Rajkrishna, nothing like that. Don't cover your mother's ears, please. And I was like, oh, debating? Like, okay, that's kind of boring. Why is she talking to me? She goes, "Oh, no, we're debating Royal this week." I said, "Oh, okay." And I'm still like, why is she talking to me? And she goes, "Oh, your brother's the captain of the debating team." I'm like, what? Wait. She goes, "Yeah." She goes, "You didn't know?" I said, okay. So I went home and I announced to the world, I'm like, did anyone know Anna's like the captain of the debating team? My mother looks at me like, "What are you talking about?" And he looks at me and said, I mean, his eyes were like, just zip it. So that went on. And so I gathered a group of my friends, and we used to sneak over to Royal and like watch this and sit in the back and like clap and hoot and do what we do best. So a couple of months goes by, and then this same group of girls say, "Oh, you know, Royal's putting on a play, Little Women." I'm like, okay. She goes, "Oh, you didn't know?" She must have liked him, Raj. Now that I'm telling this story, she must have liked him. She goes, "Yeah, your brother's, your brother has one of the starring roles." I'm like, "In Little Women?" And so I was like, I have to go see this. So I had a group of girlfriends. We sat in the back, and Anna played Amy. He was really good. I didn't even recognize him. So I probably used to go home and say, "Anna played Amy in Little Women." And he would come home, and you know, my aunts would say, "You were Amy in Little Women?" And he would just look at me like, I'm going to kill her one of these days. But that was my brother. So not only did he act, he rode on he was first, what do you call it? Not first 11, first 6, whatever. He rode for Royal. The day he was made prefect, nobody knew. And that was him. His whole life, he was just such a brilliant person. I was an annoying sister. That never changed. It doesn't matter how old I get. But he was so patient. He was such a patient brother, and he knew me, his sister, so well that when my kids went to college, and one of them was doing a degree in accounting, she would come home with questions. And one day he called me and he said, "Just have Katie call me. Just have Katie call me." And so I think Katie wrote, I just read the tribute today that said, "Uncle Asokan taught me accounting, and I would not have passed if he had not," because obviously her mother couldn't. And the same with my son. When he had to, you know, they all knew to call Uncle Asokan, because Uncle Asokan was going to get on the phone and he was going to take care of things, because their mother just didn't have the patience, and he knew me so well. And then Raj, when you came along, you know, we've known your mother since she was 9 years old, right? So she's just part of the family. But then when you were born, you truly were the sun, the moon, the stars to him. So that just made us happiest. Anyway, I think I rambled on a lot, and I apologize for that. But I just wanted to share some memories and stories growing up with Anna, and I will miss you so much. So.
Hello, everybody. So I'm the little brother. I know he's got more hair than I have. But anyway, so you guys might know that my brother really loved trees. And what he did was, about 25 years ago, he told me, when I had little kids, he said, you should read this book about trees to your kids. And I never did. And recently, after Krishni called me, I remembered what he told me, and I went and I looked for that book. And I want to tell you that story about the book that he mentioned to me. So this is a story about a tree and the people who came to it. As they grew, the tree gave it all it had: apples to eat, branches to build, and shade to rest beneath. People came and people went, and still the tree gave. Not for praise, not for thanks, because it cared. My brother was that tree. He gave his time, his strength, his ideas, his care, even when it cost him, even when others didn't see the whole of who he was. He gave because that was his way, quiet, steady, and generous. What he gives remains. He remains in the stories we tell, in the quiet lessons he taught, and most of all, in you, Raj. You stand on the branches of that tree, and his roots are beneath you. And in you, his story will continue. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Murugan and Valli, for these kind, beautiful words. Now we welcome three of Asokan's nieces, Ragi, Helena, and Hannah, who will read a poem in his honor.
Hello everyone, I'm Ragi, one of Asok Mama's nieces. We were going to be reading the poem If by Rudyard Kipling. It was one of his favorites. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too, if you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good or talk too wise.
If you can dream and not make your dreams your master, if you can think and not make your thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken, and stoop and build them up with worn-out tools.
If you can make one heap of all your winnings, and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss, and lose and start again at your beginnings, and never breathe a word about your loss, if you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after you are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you, except the will which says to them, hold on.
If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings, nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you and none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it, and that which is more will make you a man, my son. Thank you. I will also be sharing a few words from Asok Mama's niece and nephew in Sri Lanka, who unfortunately couldn't make it today. Though we can't be there in person today, our hearts are with every one of you as we remember and honor our dearest Asok Mama. It's incredibly difficult to accept that he's no longer with us. He wasn't just our uncle, he was a constant source of encouragement, warmth, and quiet strength in our lives. From the beginning, his excitement and genuine support for our education and careers was something that always stood out. He believed in us and made sure we knew it. That kind of belief is rare, and it meant the world to us. Ashok Mama had a way of showing his love that was gentle, soft, and so sincere. We'll miss that more than words can say. Every time we saw him here in Sri Lanka or in India, his first line was always the same. Maluka Bovama, shall we go to the mall? It was his signature way of saying, let's hang out, and we always looked forward to it. Some of our fondest memories are from those times, spontaneous trips, road journeys around Sri Lanka, and especially the safari in Yala. They were full of laughter, joy, and trademark humor, because if there is one thing that made Ashok Mama truly irreplaceable, it was his jokes. His delivery, his timing, that sparkle in his eye. No one could tell a joke or a story quite like he could. We'll especially hold close the memory of that beautiful night we spent together in Colombo during his last visit. He was in full form, making us laugh, lifting our spirits, and reminding us, as always, how special he was. It's heartbreaking to know that we'll never hear those jokes again in his voice, but those moments are now treasured memories we'll carry with us forever. Ashok Mama, even from across the ocean, we feel your love. And even though we're not there today, we know that we are grieving with everyone, celebrating your life, and holding you close in our hearts. Thank you for being a beautiful part of our lives. We love you deeply, and we always will. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ragi. Thank you, Helena and Hannah, for the graceful reading. To close our program, we turn to those who were the very heart of Asokan's world, his beloved wife Krishni and his devoted son Krishna. Their love, strength, and unity in this moment are a testament to the life they built together and the man we gather here to honor. Krishna.
I did ask for a stool, but they forgot. Good evening, everyone. When life is going well, when plans are made, hopes are high, and everything feels under control, that's often when destiny or God steps in with a quiet but a powerful reminder that it's not our will, but it's God's will. Ashok leaving us so suddenly is God's will. I accept it and will carry him in my heart every moment, every day until we meet again. As Vali mentioned, I've known Ashok since I was 10 years old. And in all that time, I don't think I ever saw him without a book in his hand. Whether the world around him was calm or chaotic, he always found a quiet corner to read. I often joked with him that if I dropped dead, he probably wouldn't notice until he put his book down. He would just look at me, smile, and just continue reading. Ashok was a man of few words, unless, of course, he was teaching accounting. During our college days back in Philadelphia, he taught me accounting. I vividly remember him standing there with his clip-on tie, with his hands in his pockets, and saying, "You give with your right hand, that's debit, and you receive with your left hand, and that's credit." I must confess, I caught on to the debit part quickly, and Ashok, being a true gentleman, he always took care of the credit part. It was clear even then what a passionate and a gifted teacher he was. Even after 28 odd years of teaching, he still prepared diligently for his every single lecture. To me, he was my knowledge bank, my personal encyclopedia. If I needed to know something, anything, it was always Ashok first, then Google. He had a brilliant mind for numbers, history, politics, geography, poetry, you name it. His vast collection of books stands as a testament to his curiosity and his endless quest for knowledge. Astronomy was one of his great joys. I remember the day he came home with a giant box, smiling as he handed it to me and said, "Krishni, it's a gift for you." And I often fell for it. But I opened the box and all what I saw was this huge telescope. But what he really meant was, "Can you please assemble this for me?" And I have received so many such gifts over the years from him. That was Ashok, quietly clever, always doing things his own way, own gentle, endearing way. That's why I often called him a smooth operator. Ashok's philosophy in life was simple, yet profound. See the good in everyone. And he truly did, always. He believed in kindness, decency, and in doing the right thing even when no one was watching. And he also believed wholeheartedly in enjoying a Haagen-Dazs ice cream bar every single day. We've been married for 40 years, and I feel profoundly blessed to have shared my life with a man so gentle, honest, humble, hardworking, and deeply kind. Ashok offered help without hesitation, whether to his students, our neighbors, or even complete strangers, never expecting anything in return. Well, maybe just one thing. If you borrowed a book from him, he did expect you to return it. Ashok never sought the spotlight, but he was always there, steady, reliable, quietly present. Whether he met someone for just 2 minutes or had known them for 20 years, he had a unique way of winning hearts. His warmth, sincerity, and quiet strength left a lasting impression on everyone he encountered. He was a simple man of pleasures, a glass of scotch or a wine at the end of the day, and a simple meal he loved, just rice, dal, and papadums. As if one heartbreak wasn't enough, just 5 days after Ashok left us, my dear cousin, Dr. Dayalan Kumarasamy, passed away suddenly. Dayalan and Ashok were close friends, bonded since their high school days back in Sri Lanka. Our heartfelt condolences go out to his beloved wife Rohini, his sons Ishwaran and family and Shivram, and his loving sisters Chandrika and Nilani. Please know, we grieve with you and we grieve for you. In the midst of all this sorrow, we've been lifted by the love and strength of our family. My amma, my brothers and sisters, let me say my sister-in-laws have been my sisters from day one. That's why I call them my sisters. To our nieces, nephews, and my cherished, loving friends who came running to my side when I needed them the most. To our dear friends in Casablanca, Umaima and Nora, the compassionate nurses at the hospital, Osman at the hotel reception, and Mohin, who so kindly drove us around, our heartfelt thanks for the care you gave Ashok during his brief time at the hospital. We are especially grateful for your support in the difficult days following his passing, as Krishna and I worked through the many logistics and formalities to bring Ashok home with dignity. To Monica and Heidi at the Rezem Funeral Home, we extend our deepest thanks on behalf of the entire family. Your warmth, attention to detail, and gentle guidance in arranging Ashok's farewell have brought us great comfort during this sorrowful time. To Ashokan's lifelong friends, and all who reached out with condolences and prayers, and more especially to each one of you here today honoring his memory. Thank you, and thank you from the depth of our hearts. We thank you again. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
everyone. Good evening. Firstly, thank you all for coming here today and for spending this moment with us. We gather here to honor the life of the best father, husband, family member, friend, and storyteller, for that matter, that we could have asked for. Appa lived a life putting others and their needs before himself, despite any situation or how he was feeling. He always took the time to make sure those around him were okay and smiling. To give you an example, let's go back to the summer of 2011 when his father passed away. I remember him picking me up from elementary school and telling me the news. Perhaps I was too young or tired from the school day to fully understand the situation, but one thing I remember asking him is, "So what now?" And his reply will stick with me for the rest of my life. He said, "Let's check in on Amma first. Then we need to go to the store to buy your neighbor a birthday present. He turns 9 today." Me being slightly less mature than I am now, I asked him about it. "But what about you, Appa? He's your father." And he goes, "It's my responsibility to look after those around me first. I'll have time for me later. Don't worry, Rajkrishna. I've got him presents for 2 years in a row now. I cannot stop." And sure enough, we did end up checking in on Amma and getting our neighbor his present. It was an action figure and a book. And being the professor and academic he was, he made sure to spend 5 minutes telling our neighbor to read the book first. And he didn't stop there, also making sure he gave their parents flowers, wishing them many more years with their children. This shows what kind of person Appa was. He believed in kindness, in empathy, humility, forgiveness, and his personal favorite, sarcasm. He loved sarcasm. He always searched for the good in people, and he always found it. He was a man of high academic pedigree. After all, he held a PhD, was a senior professor at a prestigious university, was a successful author and researcher. He was additionally surrounded by those of high academic pedigree, such as his dear friend Chikna. But it was the character of Chikna and his colleagues that he valued the most, not any title or degree. And that speaks volumes. For Appa's main accomplishments were being a loving husband, father, and family member. I would add friend to the list, but he treated all his friends like family. Appa really was a true inspiration, a role model, and he was my best friend. I heard once that you should hope to never meet your heroes, because you usually end up disappointed. But I was lucky enough to spend 24 years with mine. And I'm eternally grateful for that. He touched all of our lives in a meaningful way. And I want everyone gathered here today to know that during our last conversation, he told me how he has been meaningfully impacted by his family and by his friends, that being all of you. He left this world being so happy and thankful for all of you, as am I. And if I may, I do have one request. My request is to not only feel emotions of loss or grief, but to rejoice and celebrate the life of a man who completed every venture he sought to do. Not only did he feel fulfilled in this life, but he bowed out with grace, with dignity, with happiness, love, and as he secretly described to me, the beautiful Moroccan nurses. But back to a serious note, he left the way he would have wanted. And now it's time for us to return the favor, placing him before us and acknowledging he's in a better place. But his spirit forever remains with us. So let's see this situation not as losing someone, but as we have had them for many years of our lives. And because I think he can see us, I say, Appa, I love you. I am forever grateful for you. I am forever indebted to you. I will see you again. Your loving son, Krishna. And happy Mother's Day, everyone, by the way.
Thank you, Krishni and Krishna, for your grace, your courage, and for allowing us to witness the depth of your love for Asokan. His soul lives on through you in every word, every gesture, and every act of kindness. Finally, Thank you all for being here, for standing with this family, and for holding Asokan's memory in your hearts. May he rest in peace, and may his memory an eternal blessing. Thank you.
We just wanted to open the stage to everyone. If anyone would like to say any final words for Appa, you are more than welcome to.
I'm not a family member. I've been friends for many years now of Krishni, Asokan, and Raj. I've had the pleasure of having been invited to Sri Lanka a few years ago, and we actually traveled for a couple of weeks throughout the country, enjoying their company, the whole culture, and I always felt like very welcome, and they were always very welcome at my home. We celebrated Christmas Eve for many years, and I'm with Amma also. And he was always so kind and sweet and generous. That was one of the things that I admire the most, his generosity and the whole family generosity. And I'm very happy that the time that we spent together, we always kind of like drank a little bit, joked a little bit, and he was always very quiet, but at the same time had that kind of like twinkle in his eyes about things. And many times I also, because I'm a medical massage therapist and a trainer, I train him and help him, and so I am very sad at his loss, but at the same time I'm very grateful to have been part of this family altogether. Asokan and all, they are very good friends, and I love them very much. And I have seen Raj for many, many years growing up, and now he's become this man that I'm sure that he'll be with the same spirit that his dad and mom had inspired him to be. Thank you.
My name is Ming Taylor. I'm from Martin Tuchman School of Management, and we're both in accounting. Asokan was the first person that I met when I first came to NJIT, and later he has become my guide, my mentor, and my dear friend. a few years, Asokan, I, and Bill over there, the three of us are called the accounting department of our school. His office is right across the hall to mine. So when I work in my office, knowing that I have a senior professor, my supporter, right like 2 meters away from my office, it made my journey of the journey of my career less stressful and with more confidence. So he has always been so kind and generous. We used to go out for coffee and lunch, and he would always insist on paying. I remember one time that he came back from a vacation. He gave me a little present. So that was, we were just met within the first 2 years. So I kind of felt that I wanted to return the kindness. So a few months later, it was a holiday. So I got a Macy's gift card. So I gave it to Asokan, and Asokan was like, no, don't do this ever again. I gave you a present for friendship. I didn't want to exchange into a gift card. So that was Asokan. On my way here, I was somehow a song that my son did for his school last year came into my mind. It says, green, green grass, blue, blue sky. You'd better throw a party on the day that I die. So I feel maybe Asokan has gone, but his impact on us and his memories will always stay with everyone, with us, definitely with me. Thank you.
Okay, on behalf of the family, I just want to thank you guys for coming and honoring my brother's memory. Thank you, and have a good night.
still have to eat everything. It has to be chicken or something.
Thank you for taking the time. Tell Miles to go.
Just put that. Just like, all right, I'll send you a text. See you in Spain.
I'm so happy you're here. It's always good to see you.
Word for word.
Look after that.
Yes, look after like my mom going around. Exact words. Do you feel like, did you process that? As soon as you said it, I was like, oh my god. I'm doing good. You did a great job.
Thank you. Oh, what's up? It was a tough visit.
Raj, you did a great job.
Thank you.
We're gonna head out, but we'll see you tomorrow.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Yes.
Perfect.
That's wrong.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Glad to meet you. You can get his contact information. Contact information.
I will arrange it. I will talk to Amma. We will do it.
I have your mom's telephone number. I have your mom's telephone number. I have your address.
You have everything.
Okay. Okay, we'll keep in touch, okay? How many years do you have to go in Spain? To finish your graduate
4
school?
weeks.
4 weeks.
4 weeks.
Almost to the end.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And then you return back to the States? Okay. Wish you the best graduation.
Thank you very much. Thank you for that.
Remember again? I was like, we should go down to 40 minutes. That traffic is hard.
Thank you for the speech.
My mother adored your dad so much. She used to say, oh, he's so handsome. That's all that she was.
That's so funny.
Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow.
Yes, absolutely. You're going to be there. Perfect. Good morning.
These are neighbors from Wyman.
Yes, have you ever been to Wyman?
It's so many tennis balls into the neighbor's yards at home.
Okay,
When I was playing
ours is
cricket.
the first house, but we don't have that house
You know where you go to TCT, where we took
Okay.
We live in Canada.
We drove all the way from Toronto and we just made a check to
Okay, good. Traffic. Unless you want to start with the Great to see you. I'll see you next week. Very good. I will see you then next week. The zoo. This summer, he's going east, man. Pleasure. Hey, I got you, but I'll see you next Saturday. Yeah, I'll be. All right, I'm going to say goodbye. I'll see you next Saturday. Perfect, I'll be there. All right. Good to see you guys. Seeing each other next week. No, it's and I'm staying overnight. Yeah, brother. I'll see you soon, all right? Come back to see you soon. We are doing something. I know you. Are you guys? Please.
Because I met him after I met him. One time I told him, he was came and stayed with you for 10 years. I visited you and then I met him a couple of times. And I have, it's every gap now. And I saw you for but now they don't have services and sorry for my condolences. Thank you so much.
Vandenberg has been taken. Make sure you got your ground. He's good about it. Kind of being social. Attention to detail. Yeah, no, he's got the opposite. He's the man. I didn't know it was yeah, he got it like last year. Like we were finishing up like at the end of the school year last year. He was working a little more. I think he got it like in May last year or June. He was working on it, starting the process though. Yeah, he started it last year. Living life in business. Wall Street client. I could never. Yeah, I know the person. I know the person too well. I can't imagine. I mean, great. Yes, you say you're going after. I'm figuring it out. I just told you. Oh, you. I'll go wherever. I'm around.
Dr. Silla called me while during the service.
Oh, okay.
That's fine. Because I know if these guys' dad just was back from Canada, he would be there. So semester's over. We don't work for a living, you know. We have the summers off, you know. Apparently we don't do anything else. So I will see you tomorrow. If there's anything, I have my number.
And I'll see you guys when this comes back.
And if you could invite me along too, because I haven't seen these guys since I was at MJT. That's it. So it'd be lovely to see you.
Absolutely.
So, yes, if there's anything tomorrow, seriously, if you can't call my cell phone, and I'll pick up, because I know you won't want me to write any papers. So God bless, I'll see you tomorrow.
Escape today and have to get back. We met just once. No, September. Thank you.
One time he told us a story. He was walking on something, was a leg, and he walked into another town. I said, was it Ukraine? He was in Ukraine. You know what story? He was like some kid's backyard he was hanging out with. He just walked across this random lake and all of a sudden he's like in Ukraine. Like, he's just walking back and it's like starting to Jamesburg. Yeah, like Netherlands.
There's so many people like that he's kind of people I don't know that will come to him. And it's good. It's great. It's amazing stuff. Literally talk. Even combining the worlds. Melting pot. Yes, melting pot. Exactly. No, it's awesome. Yeah. It's good support. That's what you like to see. You know, there have been other services I've been to. I don't want to say the truth, it almost shows a reflection of the person. As many people that really kept their inner circle and then you see something like this where you can fill up.
So you were high school from Marcus? You high school from? How was it like in high school, huh? Oh, really?
Marcus, are you wrapped up at Rowan now? You're done with that?
Yesterday I had my commencement meeting.
Okay. Congratulations.
Which graduating?
And you were still doing the RA and stuff this year too?
Yeah, matter of fact, that job's not me for another week. I graduated, but it's my contract. So
Oh, you gotta do another week.
I graduated, I gotta go back. I gotta do another tour before I go.
Do your last service and you're like, sign on.
Oh, no, yeah, we already got the schedule set.
Just make sure you burn your room down once before you go.
I was like, no,
For all the poetry.
I really thought about clearing after my semester. I really could do this.
Might as well. Why are you?
No, they back charged me for it.
Oh, are you serious?
They're like, oh, we'll pay, you're going to charge you for the last month.
I'm trying to get you. That's tough. Glassboro, right? I think Galloway and Glassboro. Galloway stopped at Glassboro. I was mixing up the towns. Okay, sounds good. Good to see you, Marcus. That makes sense. You're good, dude.
Yeah, I'm from Manhattan. What's the area? Forget like Framingham. Yeah, yeah. So I'm a little outside of Framingham.
You know Boulder, right? Boulder and him are boys.
Yeah,
with the
we're best friends. So I met Raj. Actually, I met that's like first time I met yes.
Yeah.
Whole weekend.
Remember we went.
Yeah, we went to Scholars.
Dude, I do the video. No, the best. Remember the one time at Scholars we left you. You were like, alright, guys, I'll be back. I was. No, he had the goofy. I had the goofy hat. I was being a. I didn't have a commercial. It's sketchy. Oh, it's just weekend. Okay, that's good.
You are ignoring my hard work. I didn't even know there was, like, seriously, I was wondering how this thing should have been playing all this time. No, it has been playing. I didn't even see it. Really? They have only, only some of the photographs. You haven't lost this thing? No, I collected from Krishni. We had so together. Take it out now.
Wait, it's on.
Oh.
I can turn it off?
Yeah.
Right? You want to mix up with that?
Should be okay.
Taking that Raj when he was small and all those things.
You know, when I was looking at this, how beautiful it was that
I don't have to see that. I was here. I was like,
I didn't see either. I must say it too,
because I couldn't see that. I was just there.
Yeah. See, Harry, she didn't see it either. Which Nobody one? saw this thing. Which one? It's been running all the time since 6 o'clock. Yeah, you guys were.
Some here.
Yeah, both sides.
EU business school, so European Union business
Hopefully not much people seem to care. No kind of plan. Without the parents.
So I announced it in the whole ice cream shop. Everyone looking up, they're looking at me. It's just like the American
But it's still a process. How are your daughters? One is the older one, right? Oh my God, she's finishing her residency already. Fellowship, the younger one. Congratulations. Very, very good. It's a lot of work. Both of them are married? 3 kids? Bless her.
Grandparents take care.
Take care. Yeah, you take care.
It's a wonderful command. Seems like it has come.
I understand. Everything kind of. And my cousin passed away, his friend. Yeah, my cousin and Ashok passed away. He passed away. Sherry. Yeah, he's a doctor. He's the one who's kind of helping me out with this. I come back and I call him. I say, I can come back. He's beautiful. So all my cousins are. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming.
We'll talk after I come back after you.
Yes. And then if there's anything I will talk to you about. Thank you so much.
I like the fun things all day. I don't know why. I just really do.
Yes. See you in the morning. Thank you so much. The rest of you are mine. Compassion. Yeah, I know.
I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure because they moved after that. Because I stayed a month after.
Because I stayed a month after.
And I was pretty sure when we graduated, I'd stayed a little bit after that. Your parents came and did. Did you go? They go to Sri Lanka first or not? Maybe not. Then I'm like, I for some reason, I don't know what they look like. Just seen too many photos.
Yeah. And I remember I showed him all that. I was like, that's Katie's. Like, Katie's the one dancing. Like, he had. Yeah. So like, he knew you guys very well.
Did you take the gym?
Fabio. He experienced Fabio's hospitality.
I'll see you in the morning. Okay. Yeah. She's waiting out. But I'll see you in the morning. You coming for that? Yeah. My mom lives here. I'll actually call you when we're both free. When you're free. I'll see you in the morning. Take care.
See you tomorrow.
And I was like, I'm glad to hear from you.
You're saying, oh, you're waiting.
But I said after 20 something years. Janet will be at Montauk Club for sure. And I will have to find some somehow. How's Mexico? Yeah? You know, here, like, great things happening for you. Oh, good. When are we gonna be invited to something big match or something? Definitely love to come and cheer. It's a secret process. But you're not even we should get some autograph now because when you're famous, maybe you would say, what? Rahel, we don't know them. You're not signing anything. But, got it together. That's what we needed there.
Probably laughing at us sometimes. Where's the name? Everything is there. Look how beautiful this is.
Wow. What's happening? Wow. That's so
It's
cool.
going to be really. Imagine 5
Do you have
years.
any high school friends
You
now?
know, not being your best. He's not like that. He's not like that.
You're like the youngest, coolest kid, right? All your friends must be like, wow, how does it feel to hang out with the 17-year-olds, right?
Do you get to go to their parties? Nice.
little iPod, so it only works with